We're live. Hello, everyone. Let's. Yeah. Do you want to do the introduction? I'm a bit lost today.
Oh, well, you lost, are you?
Yeah,
Hi,
I feel
guys.
it.
Obviously, it's us, UK Vegan Family. And tonight we have got the wonderful Ruth with us, who is the amazing vegan mama behind Vegan Inclusive Education. So welcome, Ruth. Thank you for joining us this week.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. You are literally out there with Laura Shepner making big changes for vegan kids. So you absolutely have to be on the channel. It had to happen. It had to happen. So should we see who's in the house?
Yeah, I'm going to just go through.
See who's with us tonight.
Well, this was posted at 6.
Oh, Grumpy Vegan Grandad was a bit early.
6.
So he was,
he was
hours
early.
ago.
Very, very early.
Very
So,
keen, Dan.
Leon, okay, I hope you get better soon.
Oh, bless you. Do get better soon, lovely.
We've got Toby Goslin.
Toby. Wow, Toby. Everybody needs to see these T-shirts. So This says, I love animals. I don't eat them. What does yours say?
It's on the back.
You're going to turn around?
Yeah, I'm going to spin around on the old...
Don't pull your headphones out.
Yeah,
then.
I probably will. I should have planned this better. I don't know if you can see it.
Can you see? It says Vegan Army, protect and defend all innocent beings, mission, animal liberation.
Those are cool.
So,
yeah, they're amazing.
All profits go to...
It is, hang on, I think it's Wigan...
Food Bank?
Yeah, Vegan Food Bank. It's a vegan food bank. That's the one. So it is Vegan Soldier.
So go and get your T-shirts.
On Instagram. Yes, go and get your T-shirts, guys. They are brilliant, actually. Thank you, Toby. And welcome
Toby.
to the house.
We've got Michael Askew in the house.
Hello, lovely. How are you doing?
Oh,
I just saw Muddy Paws there.
Yeah,
as well.
muddy paws. Just pop that up.
Hey, Muddy Paws, how are you?
We've got Katie Malkin.
Hey, Katie. Nice
Katie.
to see you. Welcome.
Sorry, we're looking a bit pale today. I think we've overdone it on the white lights.
Oh, probably.
Abby
is there as well. Hello, lovely. How are you?
Hello, Abby. We've got Vegan Something in the house.
Hello.
We've got Chris Grant as well. Hello,
yo.
Chris.
I always love the yo.
That seems to be it for the moment. We've got 12 of you in here.
Amazing.
So hello, everyone.
Yeah, welcome. So, Ruth, we always like to ask people who join the stream about their own vegan journey. So why did you go vegan?
Well, I'd been veggie since I was 10, and I went away to university. And in my first term, I read Peter Singer's Animal Liberation.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, that's obvious then. I'll go vegan. So that was 22 years ago now.
Wow.
So a long-term vegan.
22 years. So you pretty much started to pave the way for us then, really, because, that 22 years, things were a lot different then, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I went vegan before I knew any vegans. So that was kind of weird. And I went vegan before Facebook. So there was no way of finding any of you either. So this is a lovely new world now. And YouTube.
I think that you're the first person I think I've heard of that went vegan through a book as well. So that's amazing, because that is before Facebook, because a lot of people go vegan through social media, don't they? Like we did. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Definitely. That's brilliant.
20 years.
20 years. That's amazing. And you look great.
Jealous.
Jealous. You look great. So you've obviously got a little one as well, haven't you? Because you're a vegan mom. So how old is your little one, Ruth?
So my son is 6 now. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Vegan from conception, obviously.
Oh, amazing. Well, of course, yes. So what is the inspiration behind your initiative? Do you want, obviously we'll show everyone in a second what you've done, but do you want to tell people who perhaps don't know about it what it is that you're doing?
Yeah, so my experience is born of my son going away to school for the first time last year.
Yeah.
And it being more of a rocky road as a vegan pupil than I'd expected. And so I kind of got sort of upset by it and then frustrated enough to want to do something. So that was good. So there's something I did was to come up with Vegan Inclusive Education, which is a website where vegan parents or pupils can go and log their school on a little map. And it means that at the other end, I send the school a letter and a pack with lots of useful information explaining why it's really important that schools are vegan inclusive spaces, and just how they can go about it.
Okay, so I think Adam is going to show the website now, aren't you?
Yeah, I can do. I just went to start the share, but it just like flicked on. So yeah. So
I can wave the pack while you're wiggling with the technology.
Yes, wave the pack.
Okay, so we're going to go over to the website here.
So
I'll drop the.
I was going to say that's exactly what I was just about to say
in the comment section. So this is what you're met with as you come on to vieducation.co.uk.
So if you click on
get started. So we get started. So
it is a brilliant website, Ruth. It's really good.
Thank you. I have to say I got a designer involved, a lovely guy called Luke, because I couldn't make something this beautiful, but he did.
I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest, on something like this. It's great.
So it looks like we've got different sections here by the looks of it. So we've got a bit for the pupils and parents.
Yeah, you can click if you're the pupil, and then the little kind of lozenge bit at the bottom shows you can download a copy of the pack if you want to see it.
Brilliant.
But if you scroll down a bit to the map, you can actually register your school. Not international yet, just the UK.
So that's already all the schools been registered.
Yeah. So I popped a pin on my son's school. We're down in London, and that was like the first pin. And that was at the end of November when we launched. And now we have more than 1,000 schools registered on there.
That is absolutely fantastic.
I think, like, I'm a geographer. That was my degree when I went vegan, and so I love maps. But I think it's so powerful if you sit with your child and just go, like, you might feel like you're the only vegan in your school, but look, the country's covered in people like you, like, all wanting to make this positive change. It just feels amazing.
It just seeing all those dots there is just there's no words really. That is how many. I'm looking at the schools where vegan children are currently, and that's a lot of schools.
And they're everywhere. Like, when I thought I'd start it, I thought, well, maybe I should just start it in London. Maybe I should take it slow. And I was like, maybe I'll do Brighton and London, and they'll be the hotspots. And actually, they were two of the slowest places to take off. Like,
really?
The country. And when
Look at him going through the map.
the regional split, like, you look, and there's so much in Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland, and like there are less there than there are in England. But if you look at the population differences, actually sometimes there are more in, like, proportionately in those lower populated places, in places you might not think were going to be so vegan popular. It's quite powerful, I think, for vegans at all to see the spread, because we kind of hear about each other, but we don't see each other like that.
Yeah, that is a fantastic visual, isn't it? Seeing that.
It's overwhelming, actually.
It
see
is.
How many there is.
It is. So if people obviously want to register this, they just go on here to register the school, don't they? And then you send it out, do you, Ruth?
Yep. At least every month I'll do a print run, and print and post a batch. So there'll be more going out tomorrow. But yeah, just keep them out. It's just nice that they're landing on schools' desks all around the country. So just to say, I did design it for schools, but I rapidly got people emailing asking if we could do nurseries as well, which we do. So very happy to send to nurseries, but just follow the email link to send me the details, because the map just has the schools behind it, so you can log a school, but it's harder to log a nursery.
Okay, so brilliant.
Send the pack out.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Say, I've seen the pack myself from the nursery, and it's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, Ruth. So it's really, really good.
I'm so pleased you like it, but I have to massively big up Laura Chetner at this point. Because, like, I decided I was going to do this project, and then Laura popped up, like, on Facebook with her book, which is Educated and Educated an educator's guide to vegan inclusion. So I got myself a copy, and it's just the most incredible book. So I so recommend people go and grab a copy.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
Like, as paradigm shifting, it takes you from a point where you're just used to kind of exclusion as a vegan and you kind of expect it, to shifting like inclusion is just obvious, and and it's a context that really makes sense to schools. They talk about inclusion all the time. So find the book and buy a copy for your kids' school. It's really amazing.
Yeah, we loaned it to our nursery manager, and the changes that this has brought and that book is just fantastic. They were already good anyway, but it's like the little things that
it's prompted a lot of our meetings as well.
Yeah,
they'll go through your checklist and your pack, and they will be a bit stuck about one of the tick boxes. So they'll call us in and they'll want to talk to us and go through it to make sure they're getting it right as well. So
it's really good. It's really good. So Adam, if you want to pop that link into the chat box, and then we'll see if anybody's got any questions. Okay, let's see if there's any questions now before we move on to the other bit. So
I'm just reading some of the comments.
Okay, let's have a look at the comments and see what people have been saying. I'm definitely going to sign up my little one to school. So there you go. Yay! Starport's on the pin. It's on the map. What's this one from I'm Easy Vegan? Just at the top.
My 3-year-old turned away birthday cake for a rice cracker and told all the other children why she's vegan.
That's amazing. That is so good, Aaron.
There you go. I went straight to the shop after I got a big vegan cupcake.
Oh, brilliant. So Katie asks, what is in the pack?
Shall we download it now off screen and we'll run through it? Or do you want to save that as a surprise for the people that download it?
No, you're very welcome to disclose. I have no problem with that at all. There's kind of a section at the beginning that explains, like, if you're a teacher and it's just landing on your desk and it's come out of the blue, like, kind of what is veganism? So that's where it starts. And then it goes through why vegan inclusion is important. So it makes the point that we're a protected belief under the Equality Act 2010, but also that schools have a duty of care for children.
Yes.
And you get to the basic point that just if your kids are stressed out, they're not going to learn well. So it's in a school's interest to really look after them and to understand that they are more at risk of bullying because of this belief, until the point at which schools educate people about the belief and explain that it's protected and that it's not an okay belief to bully about. And I've been doing a bit of research around that as well, that maybe we can talk about later.
Yeah, definitely. The bullying thing is a topic that is quite important to us as well. So we'll definitely talk about that. So this is the pack.
This is what's going to drop on their desks.
Yeah, this is what will be dropping on their desks. So do you want to talk us through it a little bit, Ruth, while we go?
Well, there's the what's veganism about, and it's got a very quick set of kind of like do's and don'ts. What kids need at school, like they need a decent vegan lunch, and they need to make sure they have a uniform policy that doesn't require them to wear wool and leather, and they'll want to avoid dissection. Nice easy basics that maybe people might know, but the rest of the pack kind of goes into a bit more depth that maybe people wouldn't have thought about. So yeah, nice graph there to show that we're just smashing it and they better watch out because we'll have taken over soon.
Yeah,
I love that graph.
Yes. It's a good graph.
That's a good graph. I like the way it's going.
Nice
yeah, we need the next survey to get the next point higher up.
So where did you get this information from, Ruth, for this graph?
So those are Vegan Society research stats, but the research for the pack is pulled up from everywhere. So like I said, loads is like Laura's wisdom. Laura Chetner's kind of first thinking, and then pieces from everywhere. So the blue page is children's experiences, vegan pupils, and how they found it, whether they've been bullied or stumped for lunch or upset by some of the way they've, had their education presented. But it helps teachers get a feel of why it matters, because I think it's hard to see why you should make a change in the abstract. But if you understand that one of your pupils is suffering, it makes more sense.
Yeah, and I can see that first one on experience. This is, I was bullied for being vegan, but the teachers did nothing about it because they agreed with the bullies. That's awful. I can see why a lot of families choose to homeschool. We've chatted to a lot of families. You've just said it just never worked, and it's a shame because things with this here, it shows that things are changing. So
it's all referenced down at the bottom there as well. So so the next page. This is the bit I like.
Yeah, I like this. It's brilliant.
Are you looking at the checklist or the activism side?
I like both.
Well, the activism and the safeguarding side were prompts because I got lots of people to like read my draft, and so many people fed in. So really, this is the accumulation of so many vegans' wisdom like over the years. So the activism section is saying that sometimes teachers will worry about children kind of engaging proactively in things because there's this thing called the prevent duty, and it's there to prevent terrorism. And people often associate, animal welfare, animal rights with animal extremists, and like kind of it's a psychological jump that's like a terrible Daily Mail kind of view. And you're like, no. Just looking out for the animals is a kind thing to do. So this makes the point that it's a social justice movement. It's absolutely not terrorism, and it's protected by the Equality Act. You wouldn't accuse any other belief of being terrorist. Not okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, that bit's nice.
I think that's a really important part to put in there because, like you say, the people already have opinions when they hear about animal rights, don't they? So that's really good that that's in there. And it is an important thing.
Yeah, a safeguarding bit underneath. Just to say that actually some kids might suffer because they choose to be vegan. Their parents might not support them. Actually, it's school's duty to look after their children and support them in their beliefs and make sure that they are being cared for appropriately at home, have appropriate food there as well. So it's not just about making your school lunches okay, it's about making sure the whole child is okay. And I think it would be a very rare occurrence that it's appropriate to flag to schools that it's their duty of care. And
it's letting them know that, that's their responsibility. I suppose they just don't know about these things, do they? So it's down to vegans to actually support schools with this, isn't it? Which is what we have to do. So this checklist is just fantastic. It's just brilliant. It's there for them to go through and say, oh yeah, okay, I can do that. It's brilliant. I love it. I really do love it.
It makes me happy. When I started thinking about the campaign, like I was just going to send like the checklist with the letter. There wasn't really like a big pack, so the checklist was kind of the formative bit. But really, then you realise it just all needs lots more material around it. And I think the creation of the pack also reflects the fact that as a vegan parent, it's quite hard to share with a school what they need to know because you're kind of caught in like a minute-long exchange at drop-off or pick-up. It's very hard to educate about a whole philosophical belief in all the depth and all the way it applies to education in like that little window of time. So the checklist and the pack just help make it easy.
Yeah, and I think having that checklist there, it sort of allows you to have those conversations because it's there. You haven't got to suddenly think of it on the spot. Like, oh, if I talked about this, it's really, really helpful.
Even when it came to the nursery and it was discussing the use of language, that was really quite important when we had a little meeting.
Yeah, because obviously language is so important with our children,
especially with younger children.
And we're going to be doing a stream about this in 2 weeks about the language we use with our children. And Jack doesn't know the term. He doesn't know the term meat. He doesn't know the term ham because we don't use those terms in our house, do we?
Well, he actually came and asked us.
He asked me what ham was. He said that
one of his friends at nursery was eating a ham sandwich and he wanted to know what ham was.
Yeah, and I had to tell him the truth because that's what we do as vegan parents. But it is really important that the discussion of language is in there, and it really helped our nursery.
Well, that's good. Yeah, so it's one from Laura's book again. But I think you often don't realise as a vegan yourself how embedded things are culturally, how much you've got used to. And suddenly when you invert it, you're like, oh, yes, it's not like a veggie nugget as opposed to a nugget. It's, a veggie nugget or a chicken nugget. It's not soy milk or normal milk. It's dairy milk or soy milk.
Exactly. I mean, if you were to give him vegan chicken nuggets, he'd be like, I'm not eating that. But if you say nuggets, vegan nuggets, he'd eat it. So that's the way he is.
Yeah, you got a bit. It was, what was it? It was like an Aldi brand, wasn't it? Like no fish fingers.
Oh, he didn't want to eat
it was
those.
so, and I said, "Oh, no fish fingers," and he went, "I don't want to eat it." And I was like, he was adamant that he did not want to eat it because I said fish, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like ever since then, I've had to call them tofu fingers.
Yeah, tofu fingers.
I've learned from that one. I've learned from that one.
So what's next in the pack then, Ad?
Yeah. So
I started mining Facebook because kind of my understanding of this issue came from Facebook pages, with lots of parents going like, "Oh my goodness, look what my kid's been given as a worksheet. Like, how horrible is this?" Or my kid's facing dissection and it's hard to get out of it. So I started gathering like all the examples of good practice and bad practice in different areas.
Okay.
So this goes through different themes at school. So like food, like good practice is always having a plant-based option on the menu, and making it sound delicious rather than just like vegetable curry. You go like, "Oh, exotic Sri Lankan coconut curry," and then it's exciting. And pretend like the good example you can maybe see on the screen below there actually has that as the first option. So again, it's about inverting it. It's not making meat the norm and then the alternative veggie option below.
Yeah.
Think about it like that. And there's another nice example there about somebody who like advertised their vegan Christmas lunch option, like on their school social media, rather than, waiting for the vegan parent to go, "Oh, by the way, have you thought about me? Like, can you make something there?"
It was literally out like, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a useful page for schools to see their own worksheets in a new way. So looking at like the nutrition stuff, saying, "Oh, meat and dairy are an important part of a balanced diet." You're like, no, they're actually quite damaging for your health. Like you actually need to reflect, scientific data. So saying the source of nutrients is fine. Saying you have to get them from, animal products is not fine. Not true.
No. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And there's actually my son's worksheet just above that on animals. It was while we were in an earlier stage of lockdown. And it's like, here are some lovely animals. Do they belong in the farm or in the zoo? And you're like, neither. They have their own habitats, actually. They don't belong there at all. And you just don't realise how embedded all of this is in, kids' education. Like from singing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once I caught a fish alive, to watching Peter Rabbit videos, pulling fish out of the water. It's not nice.
Yeah, he doesn't like Peter Rabbit or anything.
I just remembered you mentioned that nursery rhyme. There's a little park where we live, and that is like on the side of like the slide.
Oh
so
no!
That nursery rhyme is on the side. So I literally slapped like a sticker next to it. So you can imagine what the sticker said.
Yeah, when you've been around.
Yeah.
But yeah, nursery rhymes are a big one that we find. So they've been changing things. They're like making sure they don't do certain things now since they've had the pack, which is brilliant. So it's doing exactly what we needed, really.
Mm-hmm.
Next page.
So then after the kind of good and bad examples, we just get like a summary of different bits of the curriculum and things they can think about. And you kind of, I don't think schools think about trips that, yay, let's go to the zoo or the aquarium. And you're like, no, actually, that's really excluding. Let's not do that. But, my son's got a trip to Billingsgate Fish Market to look forward to in a higher year group. So I hope we've changed it before he gets there.
So what advice would you give to parents who, because I come across this a lot, and especially for us who haven't yet got a child in school, these situations where, they're going out to like a petting zoo or a zoo or something like that. What can parents do if they don't want their child to go? What are the options, really?
I think it's hard because as a parent, you're put in an impossible position once it's been decided that that's the trip. As a parent, you'll normally be like notified along with all the other parents. And it's too late to negotiate at that point for a change to the trip. So you're stuck in the position of going like, do I withdraw my child or do I not? So again, it's a common Facebook theme, I think, of do I let my child go on the farm field trip or the zoo trip, or should I not? Because then it's hugely excluding. So I think the pack is really helpful for kind of laying down a baseline with the school early on. So you kind of say that these are the issues, they're going to come up. We need to have a conversation about this before the fact. And it's kind of born of my experience, because I was talking to the headmaster at our school and saying it would be, I would like to review the curriculum for the year ahead, and I can flag to you where there might be issues. And they really didn't want to. They were just like, no, actually, pick them up where they go. And they don't realise that it's an impossible task. You can't, you're not going to know everything your child's exposed to. And it's always too late and more annoying to do it afterwards. You have to do it in advance. So I think it's worth kind of parents explaining to the school that they are vegan, kind of putting it out there, sharing the pack, and then asking for a conversation with the school's inclusion officer. I think once you put it into a framework that the school understands, oh, this is an inclusion issue, there's kind of a path through that takes you on a different route than awkward parent route.
Okay, yeah, that you've raised some really good things there for us to think about when obviously we have to start looking for a school. So yeah, that's really interesting. Okay, and the next one. Oh, I like the look of this next one.
I don't know whether you want to do it all.
No, we don't have to do it all. But
we'll cover this.
I think that's good to have that in there, Ruth. That Eat Well guide.
Yeah, I had to squeeze it into the pack. It's not even the most appropriate page. I was like going in.
Yeah, it's got to go in. It's got to be there.
But the page is about all the resources that are on the site. So when you hop in, Adam, you hop to like the pupils page, but there's a page that schools can go to, and it's got loads of links to all the other amazing charities out there who've done all this work, to get materials ready. So it links to animal aid kind of videos and sites and worksheets and all sorts of different things. So basically, kind of, whether you're a primary or a secondary school teacher and in any subject, you should be able to find something vegan appropriate, curriculum-wise, to take from there.
No, it's brilliant. I know you've got, I think it's towards the last page on here. There is a section about, I think it's that one you're hovering over, which I thought was brilliant, where you talked about the health implications of eating animal products as well, which I just thought, Ruth, that's just brilliant. It's just right in there, bang.
I just think it's so important because when you arrive as a vegan person, like in any conversation with a not vegan person, there are a lot of presumptions. So you've got like the animal rights extremists that we talked about, kind of presumption. You've got the, oh, it's terribly unhealthy presumption.
Yeah.
And you have to make the point that, like, no, dairy is the leading cause of saturated fat, which is like the leading cause of death in the UK. And the World Health Organization recognizes red meat, and particularly processed red meat, as carcinogenic and very carcinogenic. So actually, maybe don't feed your kids those things. What they definitely need some more of is fiber, and they're not getting enough, and that would also help keep them healthy. So I think it's just taking it's like disarming tactics. It's taking away the objections that people have immediately. And on the matching page, where it's about getting around to actually catering for vegans, ProVeg UK have an amazing offer where they're doing free consultancy for schools and local authorities who might manage school menus. So they will nurture them through a lovely, gentle process of explaining how you can make your meals more plant-based. And that's transformative, because obviously as vegans, we want to be well catered for ourselves, but we actually massively want to save the animals. And school meals are a huge part of meals in this country. So Animal Rebellion are also doing some incredible work with councils around the country, and they are.
I went to one of their Zoom meetings not so long ago, actually, and they mentioned this as well, Ruth. They mentioned what you were doing in there.
I was working with some of the Hackney crew, and they've just secured meat-free Mondays from September for Hackney school. You're just like, wow,
that is incredible.
Step, but it's a big, small step.
It's a big step, because one of the things they were saying is that whoever it is says the children have to have animal flesh 5 days a week. No, dairy 5 days a week, and 3 days of the week they have to have animal flesh. So I was like, this is really quite scary. So the fact that they've got 1 day a week where it's meat free that's big. It's really big.
It is.
Wow.
And I don't want to go into the
Let's
whole
hope
who's
it goes,
funding who situation.
Spreads
but,
all over the UK.
Yeah.
So if we go back and see if there's any questions, I don't know if you want to pop that back into the chat so that they can see, so that they can sign up if they want to. So these kind of things aren't free. So roughly how much would you say it costs to have this pack printed and sort of made, Ruth?
Well, the first batch I kind of did were more expensive because they were like the design costs for the pack and the website. So I think that averaged about £3.75 a pack.
Okay.
But I think I'm about to order the next batch because I got like 1,000 and a bit packs, and I've got that many left, so few left. So the next batch should only cost about £2.25 each to get out. So I'm really enjoying doing it for all the schools with vegan pupils at the moment. But it would be amazing to fundraise at some point in the future to just get them to all schools.
I was going to say, I mean, that's, hey there guys, how are you? It's an awful lot of money when you look at it like that. So, I mean, did you say when we had a chat, did you say there was 30,000 schools across the UK? Is that how many?
Yeah. And small nurseries, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of nurseries. There's nurseries everywhere, isn't there? So yeah, with that really needs to take off, fundraising for this. It would be amazing.
So in the meantime, sort of before I get to that stage, what I wanted to do was get it talked about in the education press a bit, like partly to reinforce it for any head teacher who's had the pack land on their desk.
Yeah.
And reach people who haven't been sent a pack. So somebody got in touch with me and had the bright idea that I should do a survey based on vegan pupils' experiences.
Yeah.
So I've launched that, and it's providing some really interesting data. So I hope to write that up to get it into the education press. It's quite powerful.
And you've sent us the survey, which Adam has got there, so we can have a look at it.
Yeah, the Survey Monkey.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to go through some of the comments while.
Yeah, we don't want
to leave anyone out. I know it's been.
I've
been off screen on another tab. So we've got Plants in here. Welcome to the stream, Plants.
I've not seen you before. Welcome.
Looks like he's really focused on getting active for the animals.
Amazing. I was going to say, Ruth, this is a big piece of activism. What you are doing, it's massive. It's great. Race Lever's in the house. Hello, how are you?
Race.
What was that? What did he say?
Free vegan school meals for all visiting Race Levers. To be on the checklist. Oh, we got Vegan Pixie Warrior. Hello,
how are you?
Hi, Rebecca.
Oh yes, thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be awesome. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers now. It's like I think we need another 60, and we've smashed it.
Except for catfish. They're swimming kittens.
What are they talking about?
So fish are swimming puppies, except for catfish.
Okay. It's a bit random.
They're swimming kittens. Right.
Okay.
Hey, we got the vegan moon cat.
Oh, he's in the house.
Hello,
how are you?
Mark. You all right?
Yeah, Mark, how are you?
Yeah, that power bank, the PSU for my computer just still hasn't made that noise. I don't know what's going on with that.
Is that everybody?
I think so.
Oh, Gwaine as well.
Gwaine. Hey, Gwaine.
How are you doing?
Just going through them all. We're nearly caught up now, guys. We've nearly. Grumpy Vegan Granddad's back.
Hello. So obviously, if any of you guys have any questions that you want to ask Ruth about this, then obviously fire them at us. If we don't read them and we miss them, just keep putting them back in, and Adam will do his best to make sure he sees them. I'll give him a nudge if he doesn't.
Ruth is doing an incredible job. I will second that.
Absolutely.
Nearly caught up now. Nearly caught up. Okay, vegan something. Take it easy.
Thanks for joining us.
Right. Okay, we were all caught up.
So before we go on to the survey, I don't know what that is. The survey. Has there been any I'm trying to think of the word now. Any sort of delays or any backlash from any pushbacks from the schools about this that you are aware of?
No, I mean, it's interesting about the way I designed it. I didn't ask the school to get back in touch with me about the pack. It was just like, here you go, this is the information you need. Like, do let me know, like, if you want to ask me anything, and let me know if you've got some good, like, examples you'd like to share. But it didn't ask for immediate feedback. So what I plan to do in a few months' time is to do a kind of, please fill in this survey about what you plan to do. And you could win a hamper of lovely vegan goodies
I like
to kind of incentivize you to like reply. But I'd like to say, like, you know, is this something you've got in place already? Is it something you plan to put in place? Or is it something like you're definitely not doing? And then we can get a view of actually how schools are progressing and try and kind of track that over time.
Yeah, I like that. Obviously, we've had our initiative, and the schools are just since it went out in January, February. We've had 3 survey replies,
it's incredible.
And it just feels so. I shocked. I honestly thought we would have more than that.
Because we sent how many sent out? We sent out
so many. I honestly don't know. I mean,
we've lost count.
How many have gone out. There's quite a few people involved who've sent sort of, 5+ of these letters and the Survey Monkey out, and we've had 3, and it's a bit deflating, really. But then we've had the whole COVID situation. Children have been at home, so at some point we will obviously get it back out there again. And I thought it'd be good to sort of give a bit more time.
Yeah,
since they've come back, and then we'll probably try again in April. It's not been the best of
times.
No, I'm trying to look at it like that.
And I know that one of the schools, I think we sent it out to here, the school manager's been in hospital with COVID. So
I know there's a lot of other issues that have probably affected it, but I think the offer of like a hamper with all these goodies, that's a great idea, because from what I know from talking to some of the people involved in our project who are teachers as well, teachers love goodies, freebies.
Yeah, I'll aim to make it as tasty as possible. I just saw that question flag up about whether colleges could get it as well. So, yep, absolutely. Again, just email me their details.
Where was that question?
What was that? Sorry, this one.
Yes.
And it's aimed at nursery as well, Gary.
So yeah, it was written for primary, secondary, but everything is completely translatable, both at the nursery and at the college end. It's just about inclusion, and once you put it through that lens, it's obvious wherever it lands.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you've even got a bit at the end about staff as well, haven't you, in the pack?
Yeah, I had so many vegan teachers get in touch with me and like, when are you doing the campaign for vegan teachers? Like, we need it. So there's a bit on the back that says like how schools can look after their vegan teachers, and what it's reasonable and not reasonable to expect them to do, and just as well that they can get PPD for all of their teachers from Laura, who through Primary Education does free CPD for schools, which is amazing. So schools want to get the advice because they get points that they need. So
yes,
she's doing a crowdfunder at the moment to help her do more of that. So if anybody wants to make it go further, like, check her out and get some money her way, because I think it's so powerful, her work.
Yeah, we've got to do that. Actually, we said we will put some money into that, so we will. I think it's what is needed now. Is we've had this big rise of veganism. There's more families going vegan. There's more children out there that are vegan. It's constantly more and more all the time, and this is the perfect time. It's now. It's got to be happening. So it's great. It's great that it's happening.
But I know our school hardly have a chance to do normal stuff. Teachers are doing 5 jobs at once. Admin rushed off their feet.
I think it's a really good point. And when I was putting the pack together and kind of sharing it on Facebook, people were saying, I'm not sure it's a good time because schools are so busy. And I completely understood where they were coming from. And I also took the view that, like, it's never a bad time to talk about, like, being kind. And this is just about being kind to pupils. And when I sent the pack to my son's school, I kind of said, look, I know you might be too busy to look at it now, but please just, like, make time later in the year to get to it. And I think once you make it clear that, you know, there's a legal obligation there, you can't defer it that long.
Yeah, exactly. Right, is there any more questions there before we move on to the survey?
Have you sent one to the government?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Which of Boris's children are still at school? I can send it.
I think Boris is still at school, isn't he?
It's a good idea, though, isn't it?
I think the lovely thing is there's so much activism in this area going on right now. So activism to change those guidelines you were talking about, Daniela, about having to eat meat and dairy at school, you know, having to present it in a school menu. And yeah, I think definitely government level change is important. And yeah, it's crazy. The guidance, like for the curriculum, recommends chick hatching projects, like as a reasonable example of something you might do. And the RSPCA say you shouldn't do chick hatching projects. Like, they're not radical, they're very, very conservative, and they don't approve of any animal use in schools.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just amazed when I explained that to our schools, and they were like, yeah, but we're still going to do it anyway. And yet, yeah.
So we've got a question from Katie. Sorry I missed it the first time.
So just posting again, what happens if schools are not receptive or don't respond? My daughter is the only vegan in the school, and it's a very small school too. Obvious resources are tight.
Yeah, no, I understand. As I was saying, I didn't ask schools to respond to me for the pack. So I think there's an issue about kind of parents following up if they're not having the lovely experience that you guys did with your nursery really taking it on board. And I think it's just about prompting. I met a lovely lady who advises the Vegan Society on legal issues this week. And she said that schools have to do an equalities assessment. I made a quick scribbled note of that. So
wow.
I don't know the legal background to it, but I think like if it was me pursuing it, I'd say, can I fix a meeting with the inclusion officer at school so that we can go through this and, you know, resend them an email link to the pack in case they've accidentally recycled the one that landed on their desk. And after that, if you don't think you're getting anywhere, I'd ask to see the equalities assessment. And I think that would prompt them to go, oh, okay, we really ought to. And yeah, step it up to the governors if you have to, because they've got the duty for the schools. But I think it's that line as a parent, which is why I hope the pack would be valuable, because as a vegan parent, you're the awkward one, and it's like always a kind of inversion of power, and the pack is aimed to neutralize that. It's just to say, like, this is just how it is, you know, not a kerfuffle, just here you go, here are your tools, to stop you having to be the one doing that fight.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess I would also say as well is Laura Shepner of Primary Education, she's always happy, isn't she, to get in touch with schools, isn't she, if you contact her? And she'll support you.
Teacher. She can talk kind of teacher to teacher. I think
she can talk the talk.
So yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, she is. She is absolutely brilliant. As a vegan, can we opt out of taxes that go to subsidy? I'd
love to.
We haven't watched Cowspiracy yet. Have you watched it yet, Ruth?
No, I've not got the right technology.
we haven't watched it, but we are going to.
Yeah,
but
so it's on the.
This is something that I've thought about recently to do with the Equality Act. Do we really have to pay towards these subsidies that fund animal agriculture as a vegan? Because I realise
it's good.
Transformed if we just like picked on our tax return like what we want to fund, you know, none of that. Nuclear either, thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. And just going to tone there,
he says he's come across this.
You've come across this pack. We've actually done a video about this probably a little bit over a month ago, going through this pack and a little bit about what Laura Shepner was doing. So it's probably done.
Katie says, what can we do more on a national level? I think that is what Laura Shepner's doing. She's going straight to government I think she was in the
She was in the House of Commons.
Yeah, she was in a Zoom House of Commons meeting.
Yeah, she was doing something about that, wasn't she? To try and get changes and get it on their agenda, really.
But yeah,
I think it went through really well. I think it was
received quite well, wasn't it?
It was, and I think they were quite supportive. Did you watch that, Ruth? what she
No,
did?
I had to be working while she was doing it. I couldn't get the space. But I do think it's such powerful work, and I just think it's important to push at every level.
Yeah.
So get involved with Animal Rebellion if you want to change your council, and sign the petitions about changing it at government level at the same time. And, yeah.
I think that's one thing they said, and Katie, perhaps getting in touch with the council as well.
Yeah,
sort of talking.
Go and talk to your local MP as well about it.
Definitely, I would definitely agree with that.
I was going to say because it went so well with our nursery, the pack. It's because we literally went and hand delivered it to them. We were like, you will see this.
Bruce did.
Oh, did it?
Bruce posted it.
Oh, you posted. I thought you took it in. I thought it was sent here.
No, but it's a good point, Adam. I think to say, like, if anybody would like to do that hand delivery, if they think it would go down better, I'm really happy to give it to individuals. So if you just message me with your name and address, I'll post it to you. It doesn't matter to me where I post it. Very happy.
I thought you posted it here, and then we went.
No.
Right.
I probably didn't tell you that detail.
No, you don't. There's a lot of things we've been talking about this communication thing recently.
Daniela does. Yeah.
Yeah. Daniela
she just doesn't tell you sometimes what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing this live tonight, are we? Yes.
Yeah.
No. I usually
I've got to do a
before.
thumbnail quickly, like in 5 minutes.
It's not that bad. Right. Anyway, let's go on and have a look at this survey before we get too sidetracked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The survey.
Communication.
Communication.
Right.
Okay, so vegan inclusive education pupil survey. So do you want to talk us a little bit through this one, Ruth?
So yeah.
Well, I won't kind of do you question by question, maybe because it's maybe boring.
No,
so,
a little bit about it.
Yeah, and
the data's coming back really interesting. So I start the question with as a vegan pupil, in school, do you feel secure and welcome, safe and valued?
Right, interesting.
And I've had 233 responses so far, so hopefully I'll get a few more. It'd be nice if we could smash 250 at least, and then I'll feel like it's a reasonable kind of
That's actually really quite good, though. That's good.
But the responses are quite challenging. So only 40% of people feel safe or welcome in their school, and it's less for feeling valued. And you kind of think, well, why wouldn't they feel safe? And well, if you're being teased or bullied because of your vegan beliefs at school, you're not going to feel safe. And my results are showing that more than 70% of vegan pupils have been teased because of their veganism, and more than 40% have been bullied because of their veganism. And those are quite they're shocking to think of.
That is shocking.
You don't want to send your child into an environment where there's that odds of that happening, particularly for that belief. You understand, bullying is always going to be a challenge in school, but you really want, the school to be focused on tackling it.
Yeah.
And I think the real challenge at the moment is that schools aren't, and they're not including veganism as an area that they have to educate both pupils and staff about it not being okay, in the same way as in the hideous old days it was okay to be racist, it was okay to teach people having red hair. It's just about that ongoing process of inclusion. And when I was asking about the teasing and bullying experiences, I asked who it was. So I said, is it pupils? Is it teachers? Is it other school staff? And really shockingly, for both teasing and bullying, in more than 1 in 5 cases, it's a member of the school team. It's a teacher or another school staff doing the bullying or the teasing. And I think that is what will make the drive in the education press so clear, that just that is shocking, and that is obviously unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
Happening is because teachers aren't educated about veganism as part of this group of other beliefs that are protected. Yeah. There are now more vegans in the country than there are people with a Jewish faith or a Sikh faith or a Buddhist faith. And all of those things, you'd really put time and effort into educating about at school. It would come up in your RE lessons. You've made it clear that they were not appropriate things to tease about. And in doing that, having it in your policies and in your kind of lesson planning, both teachers and pupils are really clear about it. And I think that is the biggest shift we could do for veganism in schools. I think it would make a huge difference.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's really shocking to hear that it's more coming from the teachers. I think it's every parent's fear is that your child might get picked on or something like that. It's just, don't expect to hear it from the teachers, do you?
Yeah, and I think because the school doesn't see it as bullying, like we saw it in that quote in the pack at the beginning, the teachers kind of like were more supportive of the bully's beliefs than, you know, against the act of bullying. And so we see that in the survey as well, that when you ask, like, all right, if you were bullied, were the teachers swift to kind of resolve the issue for you? Like, no, only a quarter of the time was it like a reasonable response to the issue. And like, that's the double nightmare. You don't want it to happen, but if it does happen, you need to be able to tackle it. And at the moment, the framework's not there. So the pack's got some really good examples from Laura's book about changes that schools can make to their policies so that they really clearly make them inclusive. There's just no doubt. Written down.
I think as a vegan community, even without children, I think it's something the vegan community's got to stand up and do, because these kids are the future of the, you know, veganism really. And, you know, we're teaching them all the things we know, you know, to look after the planet, to look after each other, to look after the animals. And we need to sort of nurture them and protect them. And I think as a community, we've got to stand up and we've just got to take it on, really. You know, thankfully, we had this, I can't remember what the man's name was last January, who took, you know, who used the Equality Act. That's the one. I think we all have a duty to, you know, to start using this. It's there. We need to use it, support ourselves in our workplaces, and start talking. We talk about the animals, you know, we are active for the animals, but we need to do more in protecting ourselves so that more people are aware that it is a protected characteristic. And you know what? We can stand up for the animals, but we're also going to make sure that we're standing up for what we believe in, protecting ourselves.
See, well, I know you've had some of these survey monkeys come back and they've stated, you know, bullying and things like that. And has any of that been followed up? Have we had any of these teachers, you know, disciplined or?
So again, this is a completely anonymous survey, so there's no kind of scope for that. But I think it does raise scope for future kind of questions. Like if you see the sort of the Me Too movement now, the disclosure of abuse in schools, and then you kind of create the demand to actually be willing to tackle it if people raise the case. Because I think the challenge at the moment is that people are saying they've raised this case of problematic behaviour and it's not been dealt with. You know, it's appalling. And I think reminding schools about the legal basis for all of this is really important, as well as your point, Daniela, about the fact that these kids are like literally incredible. They go in like as the only one of their kind into these huge, scary school environments. And these are kids who are living in a way that is protecting our environment, you know, that is living in a way that's going to keep them healthier as they grow older, and in a way that they're determined to be kind. Like that's all that they're doing. And they're discriminated against every day
for being kind.
I was going to say, because full stop, it's just discrimination, isn't it? You wouldn't, you know, if you were going to use some sort of other belief like Christianity, you wouldn't, you know, if you called that child a crusader or something like that,
something
you know,
horrible for their religion.
You know, they would probably get the sack. Or if we were to use another religion and called them a terrorist or an extremist, you know, Nazi, neo-Nazi or something, it'd be instant termination of contract.
Yeah, and it's just the translation. I think it's literally just a time thing that you can think, like, in my lifetime, that translation sort of has moved on, you know, about many things, and it's just bringing this into the same framework, which again is Laura's genius, because once it's in the framework, you can't take it out. Like, it's obvious it should be there. And I'm just spotting Katie's question about whether there's anything else you have to do. No, I will send the pack, Katie. So I promise, like within a month of when you kind of pop it on, I'll send it out. Or if you've got a desperate need for it urgently, just email me and I'll get it out faster.
And it gets added to the map, I think. Does she need to add it, or do you add it?
Once Katie has successfully added it to the map, it means I can pull the address off onto my list, and at least once a month I'll dispatch packs out. I think I've done 3 dispatches this month. It'll probably be faster than that, but I just don't want to overcommit in case I get lazy.
Okay, so Katie has to add it, yeah.
But I think you said earlier, any problems, and they can email you, can't they?
Yeah. For some people, it just doesn't seem to work the map at their end. So my email address is on the website. You can just email me the school name and address, and I can add it. Fine.
Brilliant. I think Gary asks a very good question.
Yeah. Are you going to be at the camp out? Are you going to be up there with, Earthling Ed on the main stage?
I think you should be.
Definitely not on the main stage. You guys are really lovely, and it's testament to your loveliness that I can do this. But I'm scared of public speaking, man. I'm not doing that.
Oh, bless you. Well, I'm honoured that you're on here with us tonight, then. I'm really glad. Really, really glad.
Well, I think we're going to have to get... What's that? Vistaprint. We'll just go to Vistaprint. We'll print off 1,000, of these packs, and we'll just go around throwing them at people at the camp out. These packs.
To be fair, though, you could see if you could do a stall there, just with the information there that you're doing, because there's bound to be people out there that don't have Facebook, don't have Instagram, and don't use social media, that still don't know about it. This is why I wanted you on here, because people might come across it through here when they don't have Facebook. So it would be an idea to have you there with a little stall of information. But if you don't like public speaking,
no public speaking, but standing behind a stall I can do. I have to check out the date.
I say, are you planning on being there, Ruth?
I've looked at it. I've not got any firm plans. I've not been before.
It's amazing. It's really
if
good.
you do go, there's like a family camping area.
Yeah, there is.
And you could just literally walk around there of a sort of early evening and just talk to families.
There's like a massive marquee, to be fair, where all the family, where Laura Chepner was. That's where we met her.
Because she was walking around, wasn't she? Laura was walking around. I think we might have seen her, and we didn't even realise. Yeah, we went and watched Laura Chepner's talk. Yeah, and that's what you can do. You just, hop from tent to tent, socially distance.
Hop from tent to tent.
Yeah, just talking to each people and just getting the message out there.
It's bringing back fond Glastonbury memories. I'm thinking, hey, I could leave my son behind with my beloved and just go party. It's fine.
Yeah. Just going to go and, tell everyone about what's available out there. They all need to know anyway. So it's a great idea.
So I'm going to try to go through the comments.
Okay, so have you popped the link in the chat for the survey?
Oh, no.
Yeah, because that would be a good idea, and then people can fill in the survey. Especially Abby, because obviously her daughter is in school. She's one of my friends, so it'd be good to hear her perspective. But anyone who's got children at school, obviously, fill it out, because you need that information, don't you?
I think it's just so powerful for teachers to see it. It's like, okay, this is actually what's happening.
Yes.
You can always say not in my school, but somewhere it's happening.
What's this?
Anyone who knows about the pack
should hit up Jordan.
Oh yes, I have
Facebook.
him on Facebook actually.
I think we should. Everyone just spam him with the pack.
Yeah, spam him. I've got him on Facebook.
I'm going to write his name down.
Yeah.
Is he sort of like an organizer?
He's the main.
He's the main guy.
He's the main guy.
He's the top dog.
Yeah, the top dog. Yeah, the boss. I think he's the one who sort of created it. I think. Yes. Can't believe it's like 5 months away. It's going to be
also going to get really cool. Yeah, it's just natural.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant fun.
People, if they see difference in people, it's just. Really
it's brilliant as a vegan being there, but to be there with other vegan kids. It's just, there's no words. For us, when we went, we were like fairly new into veganism. So we're like, oh my God, vegan kids everywhere. What's this? It's great. It's really good. So obviously survey is the next thing. That's what the focus is now. And then you said you're going to be pulling the information from that to create some research.
Are there really more vegans than Sikhs in the country?
The 1.1% of UK population being vegan is a Vegan Society statistic. And the ONS research about religious representation in the country puts it at a lower figure. I've forgotten what it was because I wrote it a year ago. But
wow,
apparently.
There's more vegans than Sikhs.
I mean, everyone who's completed the census and is vegan this year has probably gone through the annoyance of the fact that you can't tick like, yes, I'm a vegan. It doesn't give you a philosophical belief option.
No, it didn't, did it?
No.
There isn't an ONS level research, so you can't say we have asked everybody in the country and checked. You can only take a representative sample. So it was an Ipsos Mori poll that the Vegan Society did.
Okay.
But I think it's powerful, and the 1.1% is several years out of date now, and we know from Veganuary that the numbers just keep smashing it. So I'm sure it's more now.
They do need to relook at it, don't they? Really, definitely. What's that? Just for information, Seaspiracy is at number 7 on Netflix.
Wicked.
On top 10 watches as of 5 minutes ago. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's we really need to watch this.
Trevor Vegan.
Yeah, welcome.
I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, that's a great bit of information to know.
But yeah,
isn't
thank
it?
you for popping that in there. That's amazing.
Race Lever said, "Who's Earthling Ed?" He is joking.
The power of vegan Jesus compels you.
Oh.
He does know. He's just pulling our legs.
It's brilliant. I think it's brought a lot of hope. This has.
Oh, this is Jackie.
Really
Jackie
has.
France. Hello.
Hello, welcome. So you work in a primary school. I wish. Yeah, we actually have to fund Jack's soy milk in the nursery. We have done since he started.
And
but if
like, of lactose intolerance in this country as well. Like, it's a huge diversity issue that's much bigger than veganism. It's just ridiculous. Scotland's leading the way. They've got free plant milk.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's just about making those tipping points everywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't the nursery? I don't want to point fingers or anything, but didn't the nursery say there was some sort of like thing?
It's to do with the government, though.
Yeah, if he was lactose intolerant, they would buy the milk.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think
so.
But
because it's a choice, they were not willing to buy it.
No, at the moment the government only subsidises dairy and puts it in for free. So it's up to schools what else they do. And yeah, sometimes they won't even like accept your kind offer, Daniela, of like putting it in there, and it's just sad.
Yeah, it's something definitely needs to be put in paper and pen and paper. So we need to follow Scotland.
Yeah, we do. I think Scotland's leading the way, as you said, and it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time, I think, definitely. So has anybody got any final questions for the wonderful Ruth?
Oh, here we go. Race is straight in there. All right, time for some actual relevant questions. Has Ruth ever been in a fight? And if so, did she win?
I did race. I was at a Green Day concert, and this guy in the mosh pit, and he was just battering everyone. He created this whole space where he was just going around battering. And I was wearing very heavy boots at the time, so as he passed, I kicked him in the shin. He fell down. I got a round of applause.
Hey, there's always that one.
Brilliant. God,
person.
That's a great question. Great question.
There's usually respect for women in mosh pits, isn't there? The mosh pits that I've been in, there's usually a bit of a respect for women in mosh pits.
It scared me when I went in one. I was like, what am I doing in here? It's a long time ago. But it was very scary.
Thumbs up the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. Beautiful beans.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask before we end was, how long did it take you to put that pack together?
My son had been at school, or not at school because of COVID, for a year. And I was putting him to bed one night in August. And he's a terrible sleeper, so I have to lie next to him very quiet and pretend that I was sleeping.
We know that.
I was whirring with all of this horror. And that was when I had my moment of inspiration, right, this is what the campaign's going to be. This is, because everyone's in the same situation I am, we're going to change it. And so it was from August to November when we launched. That was how long it took.
Yeah, I'm just so glad that there's other people out there that are thinking like this. I mean, the reason we did our thing is because of what happened to us with the bullying last year, but very much that we felt we didn't know anything, and the people we've talked to have said, schools, they don't offer anything. It's a jack potato and beans, and It's just brilliant. It just gives us so much hope. Obviously, we've got a long way to go until we get to the school stage, but at least we know there's stuff out there, people we can contact. Hopefully it's all okay, but you never know, do you? Jackie Francis, me. I've just okay. Oh no, not oat clim.
Oat milk for the win. Well, towel clim for the win, because we're not allowed to call it milk anymore.
No, a couple of weeks ago we did a stream. It was sort of like promote your YouTube channel, promote your business, and we had this discussion about change. You know, the dairy industry want to push that we don't use the word plant milk, so we were like, well, what should we call it? And it was clim. Was one of them, or
milk with a Y instead of an I.
I think the other one was nut juice as well, wasn't it?
Nut juice.
Was rather entertaining.
Get your fresh nut juice.
Yes. So what's that last question? Are we able to
Toby's jumping in there. I've seen what he's asked.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Toby. Great question.
Yeah, you're able to download it.
So you can download it, but it's a lot of colour printing. If you like, I don't want to tax your printer, so I will so happily post it to anybody who'd like a printed copy.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ruth. Thank you. So one of the questions I've just seen we normally ask. So let's see who's going to win tonight. Tofu or tempeh, Ruth?
Or tofu.
Tofu, yes. See, again.
Tofu always wins.
Tofu is...
I think there's only 3.
You can't make cheesecake out of tempeh.
No, but it's very nice.
You can't make scrambled tempeh.
No, you can't, but it's very nice. I just like to eat it. It's very nice.
So thanks, Ruth. Hopefully we can make some changes. We have a 5-year-old and a 17-month.
Yeah, feels like
I've lost it also at the start of our school journey. Lost it then.
Have you got a GoFundMe page set up to help you, Abby? Gigi.
I don't. One day I'll get organised. It's the thing about being a mum and like a working mum as well. It's like really time. So I'll get the GoFundMe out when I want to go national. Yes,
and when you do, let us know, and obviously we will share the hell out of it as well.
Thanks, Daniela.
It's okay. When we get to that 1,000 subscribers, you get a community tab, so you can share a lot of stuff on there. So you don't have to do a video to share the information. You could just pop it up there. So we'll do that. Who doesn't want their nut juice? Oh God, it's kicked off again.
I know. It's Clem's going to take over.
There we go.
Here we go.
He's there. He's really supporting us tonight.
So Toby's asked it, but I'm,
question.
Yeah. So do you like your peanut butter smooth or crunchy?
I'm crunchy.
What are you?
Smooth.
You were smooth. Smooth nut butters for us. Yeah, crunchy. A lot of people seem to like the crunchy, don't they?
Crunchy, yeah. Don't know why. If I wanted crunchy peanut butter, I'd just eat nuts. I don't want to say that too loud.
No.
I can see that being on the vegan hatred group now somewhere. I just eat nuts.
Surprised me. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everybody for watching and asking cool questions.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. I think, Adam, you should pop the links in the chat for the final time so people can...
Oh, God, it's evolved.
Oh, no. Which brand of peanut butter?
Anything without palm oil in.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Definitely. That is absolutely definitely the one. There's no butter. Oh, it's going to start again now.
Oh, no. Right. Okay.
Right, guys. So thank you to everybody in the chat who's been asking questions, who's been watching and moderating, although we haven't had any trolls tonight. So that's great.
Can we follow you on any social medias?
That's a lovely question, Katie, and I'm afraid no, because I'm too old and too disorganized to do it again. One day, maybe.
Yeah, I think we're trying to keep off social media a little bit at the moment. So I would say, yeah, just don't go there.
Hang out in all the vegan parents groups. That's where I post.
Yes. That's that's about where I post as well now. So they're still going on about this, Clem. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Hopefully we might get to meet you in August at a vegan camp out.
That would be cool.
It would be amazing. And good luck with all of this. And if you need anything, just shout. We're always happy to get it out there for you.
Thank you.
Just make sure you bring your boots for the concert.
Oh, yeah.
We could do with those there.
But I'm not vegan. Won't need any of that.
No.
And final thing before we go. Oh, what was that? In about 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now around. So keep an eye out, guys. We're going to be doing an open mic night about the language we use with our children to educate them on veganism. So it'd be really good to have some of you here to discuss it, because a lot of people who are going new into veganism don't know how we talk to children. So it'd be good to get perspectives from people.
And I just want to say before we end it, thank you to all of our patrons and to everyone that subscribes, and for all the support, all the admins. I'm sure you've done that.
Yeah,
the moderators. You know, thank you from us all.
Because it's our 2-year veganversary on Monday. So we wouldn't be here without veganism for the animals, but obviously you guys as well. So thank you, guys. And we'll see you all soon. Peace.